Calling all Renegades, it's time for Renegades of Puck TV. Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the essence of No Half Steppin'. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and before we get started with the No Half Steppin' hockey coverage, let me please instruct you to go to renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck, and you can even click on that merchandise link, and right there, you'll go directly to our store where you can find our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, and all of the other t-shirts that we have on sale currently. We also have plenty of other gimmicks when it comes to throw pillow, socks, wall art. You know us. We've sold out so that you can buy it. Every dollar of profit made in our merchandise section goes directly to the Renegades of Puck. So stick, taps, love, and respect to each and every one of you for sporting your Renegades of Puck gear out there in the public arena. Also, you can help us out, and it is of critical importance to go to social media. Please give us a like and a subscription on YouTube. We would appreciate that very much. 125 subscriptions now, and that is a great job, but we can continue building that base until we reach a significant number that is a force for positivity in the hockey community. We're getting there, one renegade at a time. Positive thinking, positive recruiting. Once those links are available on YouTube, we'd love it if you would spread them around and use Facebook. You could also give the Renegades of Puck a like on Facebook. You could also give the Renegades of Puck a follow on Twitter, and you can pass those links all around on Twitter, and you can interact with the Renegades of Puck on Twitter, as each and every one of the Renegades of Puck are always very active. Just go ahead and look where the show is tagged. You can find each and every one of their individual Twitter IDs. You can also find us on Instagram, and if you prefer an audio version only podcast format, you can go to SoundCloud and get the old school radio format for this show right here, and that takes place on SoundCloud. And of course, our behind-the-scenes stream, Twitch, is getting bigger and bigger with each broadcast. We've been going plug to plug, which means start all the way through the recording process, all the way through the breakdown process. It's a unique look at the broadcasting industry, and no, it's not very pretty. What it is real broadcasting. Also, if there's any F-bombs, second takes, or mistakes, you'll find them right there on the Twitch feed. You also get a chance to get access to the information before anybody else does. So we appreciate if you would help us continue growing that fan base as well. It's a different perspective. It's a different look. We also share a lot of bonus content over there. You can become a partner of the Renegades of Puck by going to Venmo or just scan the QR code right here on your screen at this time. Any donations to the Renegades of Puck go directly to the Renegades of Puck. We've been using those donations to help build up our outfit here in the bunker. We've added new lighting, we've added new microphones, and we are going to continue growing the operation here thanks to your incredible generosity. Built by Renegades for Renegades, we could not do any of this without you. The summer of No Half Steppin' is coming very soon. I would appreciate some donations so I can help get some organization done. I've got some big plans and some big ambitions coming up, Renegades of Puck. So again, appreciate each and every one of you who have become a partner now. I know you come here for the No Half Steppin' hockey coverage, so let's deliver the goods. It's operation number 627 for the Renegades of Puck. That's right, show number 627. On this date in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves third place in the Central Division after 66 games played, a record of 38-24-4. They have 80 points, 4 points behind the second place Minnesota Wild, and 18 points behind the Colorado Avalanche. Those two teams engaged in one of those three-point affairs, and that never helps anybody at this time of year when you are chasing those two teams. The Preds in third means they are automatically in a qualified playoff position at this moment, but the St. Louis Blues are only 1 point behind the Nashville Predators with 79 points. The Dallas Stars are only 5 points behind the Preds, and the Winnipeg Jets are only 6 points behind the Nashville Predators. The Preds playing 66 games on the season at this point is 2 more than Minnesota, 2 more than St. Louis, 2 more than Dallas. So in the teams immediately in the chase pack around the Nashville Predators, the Preds do have 2 games ahead of all of those other teams. Now, in the wild card race, which we will continue to update now that we are in the final 20 games of the season, the St. Louis Blues move down to the number 1 spot in the wild card. The Vegas Golden Knights hold the second spot with 76 points, then Dallas at 75 and Vancouver at 73, chasing those wild card positions. On home ice, the Nashville Predators have recorded their 20th victory of the season, most recently over the Philadelphia Flyers. We'll recap that game coming up momentarily. They have 11 losses losses, no overtime or shootout losses on home ice at Bridgestone Arena, and that's where their next game will take place. That will happen to be against the Ottawa Senators. It's the first time this season the Nashville Predators have seen the Ottawa Senators. Their only meeting earlier in the season ended up being canceled and rescheduled due to the COVID outbreak in the NHL. So the Nashville Predators' first meeting of the season against Ottawa, the second one will take place almost immediately on April the 7th when the Preds will be in Ottawa. For the Nashville Predators, their schedule a little bit odd over the next stretch of hockey. They will wrap up this game on Tuesday night at Bridgestone Arena, then not till Friday night in Buffalo, and then Tuesday night back home against Minnesota. So the Preds will only play 3 games in a full 7 days. On the 7th of April, the Nashville Predators will go off to Ottawa. The 9th, they will face off against Florida at home. And on the 10th, the Nashville Predators will be in Pittsburgh to take on the Penguins. The Ottawa Senators on the season have an overall record of 23-36-6. 52 points is best for 7th in the Atlantic Division, just 1 spot above the eliminated Montreal Canadiens. 11-17-3 on the road. Goal differential is -43. Let's just go back and recap their most recent stretch of 5 games. It was the 18th of March that saw a 3-1 victory versus the Philadelphia Flyers. Now the Nashville Predators plenty of experience against that Flyers team. As of late, it was the 19th when they scored a 5-1 or took a 5-1 loss at the Montreal Canadiens. The 22nd, a 3-0 loss against the New York Islanders, and then a 5-2 victory at Winnipeg. Most recently, a 4-3 shootout loss versus the Florida Panthers. When you go inside the matchup between these two teams, well, the Nashville Predators are ahead in virtually every metric, and the Ottawa Senators, I've got to give it to them, they are remarkably consistent in the bottom third of the league in almost everything. Goals for the Preds clearly are ahead in this metric. 12th best in the league at 3.26. Ottawa at 2.60 per game is 28th overall in the NHL. Goals against the Preds are 14th best in the league at 2.91, while Ottawa is giving up 3.25 goals against per game. That is 22nd in the league. Shots for the Preds are 26. That's down in Ottawa Senators territory, 29.5, but the Sens are 20th best in the league in this category. It is their best statistical metric overall, 30.1 in shots for. Shots against, the Nashville Predators are 19th in the league at 31.8, while Ottawa is giving up 33.3 per game. The Senators have the 25th best power play in the league and only converted 35 times this season on 189 opportunities, or 18.5%, while the Nashville Predators have converted 50 times on 205 opportunities, are the 7th best power play in the NHL, and are converting at 24.4%. No doubt there are plenty of high-skilled individuals on every NHL roster, and the Ottawa Senators do have a certain collection. Tkachuk at 22 goals and 24 assists for 46 points. You'll see Stützle at 14 and 25 for 39. Norris at 26 goals and 12 assists for 38 points. Browns at 10 and 27 for 37. And then you'll see Batherson at 13 goals and 22 assists for 34 points. The other Forsberg, the one that starts in between the pipes on the Ottawa Senators, holds a record of 15, 13, and 3 and 9.197 percentage of 2.72 goals against average, and actually is putting up a respectable season considering the bottom feeding team that he plays for. Kicking it over and looking at the Nashville Predators individual statistics on their side of the ledger, well, it is dramatically more impressive. The captain of the Nashville Predators, Roman Yossi, is doing some incredibly special things. 18 goals, 63 assists, 81 points on the season. He is still tied for 7th overall in the NHL, and I'm starting to believe, instead of talking about the Norris Trophy, we should start talking about a Hart Trophy nomination for the captain, Roman Yossi. It looks like he is without a doubt going to smash Paul Kariya's single-season points record of 85, and who knows just how far he can go with the way he is piling up points in the month of March. If he has anything like he did in March in the month of April, then he'll eclipse 100 points. Matt Duchene's at 34 goals and 33 assists for 67 points. Philip Forsberg now 37 goals on the season, 28 assists, 65 points. Granlund 9 goals, 41 assists, now at 50 points on the season. Ryan Johansson 17 goals and 32 assists for 49 points. And Tanner Juneau 22 goals and 17 assists for 39 points on the season. It's incredible to see what that rookie is doing out there on the ice. Made one statistical note to mention that Luke Kunin has skated in 66 games this season. He is the only Nashville Predator to skate in every single game this season, which means he is the only Nashville Predator currently eligible for the Ugly Lunch Pail Award. I hope that Luke Kunin is able to remain healthy and able to stay on the ice for each and every game the rest of the way. It's always impressive to see when a player can skate in every single game over the grueling length of an 82-game season. In net, Yossi Saros is third overall in the NHL in wins now with 32 on the season, 20 losses, 3 overtime losses. The rest of his statistical metrics have taken a considerable dip. He's been on the wrong side of some crooked numbers as of late, not getting the support that he was earlier in the season, but still, to be third overall in the league in victories and to have your Nashville Predators at this moment in time in a guaranteed playoff spot, that means Yossi Saros is doing exactly what he needs to do. Individual awards can come at another time. 920 is the save percentage, 2.58 is the goals against average. And that has you all set for the Nashville Predators and the Ottawa Senators at Bridgestone Arena. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. You can find Rebirth Sports online at rebirthsports.com or on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sports. They take visions and make them reality. They are not just jersey makers. They are hockey tailors, and they can outfit your entire operation. You see me wearing the Renegades of Puck jersey right here in the bunker. You see me wearing the road jersey. You see me wearing the third jersey. You've also seen me wearing so many other jerseys made by Rebirth Sports, whether it's in league play for the Mighty Drunks as I'm winning Stanley Keg after Stanley Keg, or if it's in tournament play for charity events like the Wish Cup, and even on Lake Nokomis for the United States Pond Hockey Championships. Wherever I go, wherever I skate, Rebirth Sports is the best looking threads out there on the ice. They can make your organization look just as good as the Renegades of Puck. I advocate and encourage each and every one of you to reach out to Rebirth Sports and see exactly what they can do for your operation. They make a great product, but beyond that, they're great partners and they're great people. I absolutely love being affiliated and being partners with Rebirth Sports. Now, let's get into that Rebirth Sports full game recap, and let's go all the way back to March the 27th of the year 2022 when the Nashville Predators were hosting the Philadelphia Flyers and closing out the regular season series at Bridgestone Arena. John Hines deploys his lines in the following way: Forsberg, Johansson, and Duchesne, Tolbert and Granlund, and Cunnin, Trennan, Sissons, and Juneau. Cousins, McCarron, and Tomasino make up your fourth line. Yossi and Carey, Ekholm, and Luzon. Welcome back Matt Benning to the lineup, and Davies gets the call-up and gets the start. Thankfully, no Ben Harper in this game. Yossi Saros in net for the Nashville Predators. 2:15, and it's not a good start for the Nashville Predators as Sanheim gets his sixth goal of the season, putting Philly up 1-0 this game. It was Forsberg with a very lazy turnover as he's trying to exit the defensive zone, and then he just falls down. It leads to a 3-on-2 for Philadelphia. The puck's in the back of the net, and Philly has a 1-0 lead at Bridgestone Arena. And quite a few Philly fans seem to have made the trip down to Nashville for this game based on the reaction of this first goal of the game. We go to 7:33 of the first period. Jones comes up with a save on Granlund's shot plus Duchesne's jam attempt. It was the first good scoring opportunity by the Nashville Predators offense. 13:45, Jones comes up with a save on Duchesne off of the rush. 14:07, Atkinson is off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Jones comes up with a save on Roman Yossi with the glove. 17:27, Farabee, who tormented the Nashville Predators in their previous meeting, now has his 15th goal of the season, giving Philly a 2-0 lead over the Nashville Predators at Bridgestone Arena. He gets to the loose puck in the slot before anyone else, and it seemed like Yossi Saros, who is so famous for his otherworldly puck tracking, didn't seem to be able to track this one at all. Loses sight of it completely. Farabee puts the puck in the net. The Flyers have a 2-0 lead. At 17:39, Cunnin and Brown get 5 minutes each for nothing more than really wrestling around a little bit. They hit the intermission, and the Nashville Predators are out shooting Philly 14-4, but they are behind by 2 goals. So Philly currently converting at 50% on their shooting percentage. We get a clean sheet, and we start fresh in the second period, and that's where Trennan turns the tide with a 16th goal of the season just 41 seconds into the second period. We've got a 2-1 hockey game at Bridgestone Arena with the captain, Roman Yossi, who took the puck all the way around the world, and then he gets lined up right in the middle, and he takes the shot, and it goes right through to Trennan for the tip and into the net. The Nashville Predators are on the board. At 2:09 of the second period, a quick whistle benefits the Philadelphia Flyers, and Jones certainly did not have control of this. Looked like Granlund was about to put the rebound into the net, but the referee, losing sight of the puck, certainly circumvents that Predator scoring opportunity. Unfortunately for the Preds, right after that, at 2:23, Yossi Willman with his 5th goal of the season was a partial breakaway. He blocked Benning's shot, and then it was off to the races. Benning just unable to keep up with the race. This puts Philly up 3-1, and now Philly has scored 3 goals on 5 shots in this game. 4 minutes into the second period, Hodgson's off to the box, 2 minutes for cross-checking, plenty of great movement and zone time, but Jones stands tall, and the Nashville Predators are unable to put a puck in the net. But at 7:26, Trennan is back again to do some more damage. His 17th goal of the season, second of the period. It was Granlund's incredible 5-star sauce pass over the prone defender that completes the 2-on-1 scoring opportunity. This was incredible and amazing, and I cannot give enough descriptors or adjectives to tell you just how great this pass was. You'll have to find it on a highlight for yourself. The Nashville Predators are down by 1 goal now, trailing 3-2. Shots on goal at this point, Nashville has 21 for the game. The Philadelphia Flyers have 5, but they are leading 3-2. At 8:12, though, Cunning's tying the game up at 3 apiece with the 12th goal of the piece. A rebound put back on Granlund's shot, so Mikael Granlund does get his assist in this opportunity. And for Luke Cunning, great to see his scoring drought get broken right here. An absolutely huge goal, tying this game up at 3 apiece. 12:57, Carrier's stick check disrupts a scoring chance at the last second. It looked like the Philadelphia Flyers were going to capitalize on another immediate scoring chance, but the Nashville Predators are able to break this one up just in time. 15:29, Carrier is off to the box, though. 2 minutes for interference. Yossi Saros comes up with a huge save on Hayes, plus the rebound jam and plenty of chaos. Another chance where it looked like Yossi Saros might have lost sight of the puck for just a moment. At 18:13 in the second period, Philip Forsberg's 37th goal of the season gives the Preds their first lead of the game. Now it's a 4-3 game. It was a deflection of Carrier's shot in the low slot. Incredible world-class deflection right here by Philip Forsberg, his team leading 37th goal of the season. But Philadelphia strikes back immediately, 19:12 of the second period. Van Riemsdyk's 17th goal ties the game at 4 apiece. Yossi Saros is screened by his own D, and it seems as if the high shot from the slot isn't seen at all by the Nashville Predators goaltender. Again, he's so famous for that otherworldly tracking, edge work, all of those things. In this particular game, I felt like Yossi Saros was not seeing the puck very well in this particular situation, certainly not helped out by multiple bodies of his own teammates in front of the net. We hit the end of the second period, and we've got a 4-4 hockey game at Bridgestone Arena with the Preds out shooting Philly 28-14. We're 24 seconds into the third period, and we see Tanner Juneau versus Hodgson, 5 minutes each. This was a long, heavy bout. Tanner Juneau lefts and rights, all of them seeming to land a good heavyweight scrap right here. 7:28 of the third period. Cunning's deflection gets behind Jones, but it is cleared off the goal line by the D and held out before the Nashville Predators can get there. This had some promising spin on it, but could not get all the way over the goal line. 8:55 of the third period. Yossi Saros comes with a save on Hayes after Luzon falls down, and he creates a turnover right here. Yossi Saros has to come up strong with a high-low 2-on-1. 13:17 in the third. Saros save on Yandel. Philly outplaying the Preds in the third period. There's no doubt about that, as the Preds only have 4 shots on goal in the third period at this point in time. 15:53, Saros comes up with another huge save. 17:48, Ekholm hits the crossbar. This offensive opportunity came after a bit of a long drought by the Preds. Matthias Ekholm had a chance to break it, but he could not. But the Preds were able to follow up very quickly at 18:41 with Juneau's 22nd goal of the season. It was deflection of Yossi's shot pass at the low slot on the backhand. This is just another incredible 5-star deflection. Tanner Juneau, just another highlight reel goal. His 22nd of the season gives the Nashville Predators back their 1-goal lead, 5-4. Farabee has another chance late in the game against the Preds at 19:27, but the captain of the Nashville Predators, who is supposedly a defensive liability, if you see some other people posting out there about him, goes down and blocks the shot and comes up with a huge stop here at the end of the game. The Nashville Predators are able to get out of this one with a 5-4 victory, out shooting the Philadelphia Flyers 35-23. And listen, this game was not pretty. The way the Nashville Predators came out and started this game, it was highly reminiscent of the way the Nashville Predators come out and started the previous 3 games. Now, in Anaheim, they were able to get their shit together, and they were able to come away and put up a nice victory in that one. The next 2 games, we saw what happened with the slow starts. This one was on the precipice of falling off of a cliff fairly early on at Bridgestone Arena, and then Trennan's goal in the first minute of the second period really turned this game around, and you saw the Nashville Predators really start to play a much better hockey game. And Yossi Saros, you have to give him credit. Yossi Saros really turned things around and looked a lot better the rest of the way. No, it was not pretty, but the Nashville Predators, when they have played down to teams before and they have had these bad starts, starts. They have had incredible difficulty finding a way to squeak out any points. And today at Bridgestone Arena, they found a way to squeak out 2 points in a very exciting and incredible way. And for anybody who had a chance to go to Bridgestone Arena, I bet the first half of the game you were probably feeling like, wow, this was maybe an investment that wasn't so great today. But by the end of this day, not only did you get to see the team leader, Filip Forsberg, put a puck in the net, but you got to see a Gordie Howe hat trick. You got to see Tanner Juneau. You got to see Roman Yossi pick up a couple more points in what is a history-making season. And you got to see the Nashville Predators overcome some pretty significant adversity in the first 20 minutes of this game. It's so unusual to see a team out shooting a team 14-4, but trailing 2-0. And for Juuse Saros, he hasn't gotten the support as of late. And tonight, it looked like at least one of his skill sets might have been faltering just a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm looking forward to when Mastradamus can get back in the trenches here, and he can let me know what he thought about it. Saros' numbers in the game, 19 out of 23. 3 goals against on the first 5 shots of the game. But what ended up being most important, only 1 goal against on the next 18 shots for the Philadelphia Flyers. So Juuse Saros does come away with the victory. It's his 32nd victory of the season. He is 1 behind the league lead. He is tied for third. So there are 2 goaltenders ahead of him with 33 at this point in time. So Juuse Saros was able to backstop the Nashville Predators to a victory tonight. Again, it was not pretty, but it was 2 points, and those 2 points vault the Nashville Predators over the St. Louis Blues into third place, and for the moment, into an automatic qualified playoff spot. Let me tell you about an incredible partner here of the Renegades of Puck. It is Strong Style Fitness. You can find Strong Style Fitness at strongstylefit.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, of course, interactive on all of those social media platforms. 150 workouts by a certified personal trainer posted to YouTube. So confident that you will get the results. She's made these workouts totally donation-based. Tracy will talk you through each and every one of these workouts, tell you what equipment you need, and then help you get through each and every one of these sessions. Whether it's your first stretch off of the couch or you're ready to throw iron like a pro, Strong Style Fit can help you. Believe me, I have seen the results myself. I have experienced the results for myself, and you can too. Strong Style Fitness is in the trenches to help each and every one of you Renegades, because a healthy Renegade is a happy Renegade, and a happy Renegade and a healthy Renegade lives a very long life, and I need you Renegades for the long haul. Strong Style Fit is helping us out with that mission. So jump in the trenches with Strong Style Fitness today. StrongStyleFit.com. The story of the game, of course, Tanner Juneau. Tanner Juneau comes back after having to miss the previous game. Of course, we know the story, documented well here, and we already discussed it at great length. He leaves the last game after warm-ups to come home for the birth of his first child. Now we all know the child has been born, is healthy, and Tanner Juneau back in the lineup tonight and was an absolute force. Lots of jokes going around before this game even started about how Tanner Juneau was going to be at an elevated level and even have dad strength. So, a goal in this game, 2 assists, also 1 heavyweight bout. It was the Gordie Howe hat trick for Tanner Juneau, and everyone at Bridgestone Arena was living for it. It was incredible to see Tanner Juneau out there and to see what he's done throughout this entire season. And just stick taps, love and respect to the Juneau family. And what a couple of days, and what a great, we all had a chance to share in something incredible. Both a personal story of a player that we've all come to like quite a bit, and a cult figure here amongst the fan base. We all got to share in this experience together. So it's been a really, really enjoyable couple of days, and see him come out tonight and play like that. I assume he's just going to keep getting better, and Tanner Juneau is just, it's incredible. It was great to see. It was awesome to see. Secondary scoring, something we talk about a lot here on the show, and when you see Trenton picking up 2 goals and you see Luke Cunnin getting a goal, Luke Cunnin finally breaking that scoring drought, it's great for the Nashville Predators. Filip Forsberg, of course, is typically going to get his the season that he is having, so for the top-end guys, they were able to chip in with plenty of assists, but they weren't relied upon tonight to be the sole goal scorers and lead the entirety of the Nashville Predators offense. So it was absolutely outstanding to see the secondary scoring for this Nashville Predators team. And again, Cunnin breaking his scoring drought is a very big deal hopefully now that gives him the confidence. I felt that he looked stronger after scoring that goal the rest of the way. Would love to see him get his offensive game back in line just in time for the playoffs. Sean C. Smith is in the trenches with me here tonight on Renegades of Puck TV. You can find his work at ontheforecheck.com. You can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. When he's not at the rink being the proudest dad of the Renegades of Puck junior correspondent Kalen, he's right here in the trenches covering the Nashville Predators. You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. He's the one and only Sean C. Smith.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean C. Smith. I want to talk about what happened against the Flyers. Now, the first and most important thing I want to say is, of course, the Predators are coming back home after two big, ugly, nasty losses that no one really wants to talk about, think about, or ever know about again. And quite frankly, you had to have a bit of concern seeing the Predators coming back home and facing the Philadelphia Flyers, especially considering, as I've mentioned on the show, we've discussed several times, the Predators seem to have a problem when it comes to teams that are dead in the water. And what I think is interesting is that some of these teams are proving to be very hungry. They've experienced sell-offs. They've experienced, with the Flyers, their captain has been traded away right after his 1,000th game against the Predators. And what's interesting about that was an ugly loss too. Now, what's funny is these are, as we said, hungry teams. The Flyers, they're not going to make the playoffs, but they don't want to go down without a fight. And as they come into Bridgestone, they want to show that, you know what, we've got a lot to build on for next season. We're not going to be a team that's going to be down in the doldrums and the bottom of the standings year after year after year, like some teams we've seen that happen to. They want to show that it's going to be a quick turnaround. And so a good chance to do that is to show up big time against a team that's apparently headed for the playoffs. And like I've said before, this has been the type of team that Nashville's had a problem with over the past few months, really this entire season. If you think back to the early 6-3, I believe it was, loss to the Canadiens when they were pretty much dead in the water at the beginning of the season, it shows you that the Predators can win big games against teams that are headed for the playoffs, but struggle against teams that don't necessarily seem like they have a prayer of going to the playoffs. And so these types of games are the kinds of games where you want to see the team show up, because it's great that they can show up against the Colorado Avalanche or the Pittsburgh Penguins, but you want to see them be able to show up and be the same team night after night. It's all about consistency, and that's something that John Hynes has been talking about. He was quick to say after a win the other night that it was great they found a way to win, but they didn't show up in the first period. They were not playing consistently. They were not playing to their identity, and identity has been the theme we've discussed all season long. The Predators are a team that are supposed to play a full 60 minutes and make the other team earn every inch of ice they get, and to make teams consider about getting into the dangerous areas along the boards. As we've seen, that's been a kind of a specialty for the Predators this season. But the reality is, when they get away from that identity, they can get shocked by these teams. It's almost like when they see a team like the Penguins or another playoff team coming into the arena, or if they see them showing up on the ice when they're on the road, they're ready to go. But when you see a team that's not supposed to be a concern, that should be what we would all consider to be an easy win, they don't take them very seriously. And I think we've seen time and time again as fans, as people covering the team, that they should probably start taking those teams very seriously, because I've gone on record as saying if they want to be a team that can go deeper into the playoffs other than the first couple of rounds, they're going to have to show up every night regardless of what happened the night before or which team it is on the ice. And it's nice to say, well, you know, they've been showing up against these teams, so they should be fine. But you want to see them show up and be the same team and play to that identity night in and night out, regardless of who is on the ice. And I think that was the concern tonight, and you saw very quickly that the game started getting out of hand. But it seemed like the Predators, realistically, how can we say this? The Predators controlled most of that game, but it seemed like as soon as the puck got away from where they were maintaining possession in the offensive zone, it got down to the other end of the ice. There were a lot of defense issues in front of the net. Saros letting some goals in early, and it made it quite difficult for the Predators to dig their way out of that hole. But eventually they did manage to do it on the strength of what I'm really excited about, 2 Yakov Trenin goals. Who doesn't like that? I know this guy does. And of course, a Tanner Juneau game winner. Come on. The man just had a baby. It's great news. Wonderful news to see that. But the reality is, John Hines said the team didn't have a very fun day at the arena yesterday. And realistically speaking, he's said it before. He's had to get into them about getting too high or getting too low. And that's the reality is you saw the team come off a big win streak and play down. But then you also seen them come off a couple of losses and play down as well. So it's something about, you just have to bounce back. And you have to bounce back quickly when you see that you don't have the performance you want. Regardless of whether you win or lose, you've got to bounce back and say it's a new game. Just because we won yesterday doesn't mean anything's guaranteed, and we've got to play to our identity. John Hines didn't think tonight was about winning 2 points. Tonight was about getting back to their identity, and I think that if you look at the response to the first period, I think that they did a lot to get back to that identity, and I'm hoping that continues to be the trend. I'm very excited to see how they do coming up very quickly here next week, and I think hopefully they'll get things rectified. But you want to look and see over this last stretch of the season, now that all the chips have fallen into place, and of course people will still say, well, there's still the Forsberg contract lingering out there, but I think Forsberg and I think the Predators are going to be able to get that figured out later on, and I don't think it's a point of concern right now for Forsberg, who seems pretty focused on doing everything he can to help push this team to the playoffs. So with that, I think you watch how this team does over the next 18 games, 17 games, I've lost count of how many are left. You watch how they do, and if they can show up consistently night in and night out, not only are they going to make it to the playoffs, but I think they should be able to make some noise. And that's about all I got. It was an exciting win. I was there in the stands as a fan with my son and my wife. It was a great time. And Charlie, that's all I got.
Today you saw Tanner Juneau score a Gordie Howe hat trick. And if you don't know what that is, I'll tell you. One assist, a goal, and a fight. Fighting. And he wasn't the only one that scored a hat trick today. I scored some too. Thanks, Charlie. I'm going to send it back to you.
You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. You can check out his work on theforecheck.com. You can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. He is the one and only Sean C. Smith, and I'm so appreciative of everything that Sean does for the Renegades of Puck and jumping in the trenches right here with me on Renegades of Puck TV. One more sponsor to tell you about, and I am so pleased to tell you about Stripe Digital Solutions. StripeDigitalSolutions.com is the website where you can get more information. I encourage each and every one of you to take a moment to reach out and check out what Stripe Digital Solutions can do for you. Now, let me tell you what Stripe Digital Solutions has done for me. Stripe Digital Solutions helped create the logo on the wall behind me, helped create the logo on the crest on this jersey, helped me create renegadesofpuck.com, and also is helping me build my social media plan and build my brand and getting me in front of more viewers than I have ever been in front of before. It is nearly impossible to navigate today's small business world and all of the little things and eccentricities that you need to keep up with when it comes to your brand building and all of your social media platforms and all of these things. It is too cumbersome for one person to do on their own while they're focused on trying to come up with all of the other ideas around the business. That's exactly where Stripe Digital Solutions and Brandy comes in and helps out like an absolute expert. She's an artist, she's an expert, she's a pro, and she's one groovy human being, and I love having Brandy help out with the Renegades of Puck. Stripe Digital Solutions is incredible, and they have done so much to help my operation grow. I know that they can do the same for you. Please check out Stripe Digital Solutions today, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or go to stripedigitalsolutions.com. Let me read you a couple of digits real quick. We'll get Brian Basson back with some analytics on the next episode of Renegades of Puck TV, but for now, you'll have to suffice with me here, giving you the numbers you need to know in the box score. Philip Forsberg scores a goal in this game. Tanner Juneau picks up a goal. Luke Cunningham with a goal. Yakov Trenin picks up 2 goals in this game. You have assists by Matt Duchene with 1. Mikhail Granlund picks up 2 more assists on the season. Tanner Juneau picking up 2 assists in this game. You see Alex Carey with 2 assists in this game. Great to see him out there working with Captain Roman Yossi as they're playing catch out there on the blue line. It's leading to points for Alex Carey. Roman Yossi also 2 assists in this game. 6 shots on goal for Luke Cunningham. Told you he seemed more confident after scoring that goal. 4 shots on goal for Trennan. 4 shots on goal for Matthias Ekholm. In the physical category, it was physical earlier on in this game, and then it kind of evened out a little bit. Mikhail Granlund, 5 hits in this game. Don't typically see Granlund with that much physical play. Yakov Trennan, of course, 5 hits. And Luzon has joined the Nashville Predators and jumped right into the hit parade. He's tied for the team lead in this game with 5 hits. He had 7 the other night in the last game for the Nashville Predators. Matt Duchene led all of the forwards in time on ice, 20-36 in this game. And, of course, your captain, Roman Yossi, led the team in total time on ice, 27 minutes and 27 seconds. He also had 2 shots on goal, and he had 1 block shot. He had 1 hit, and also 219 of power play time on ice, 107 shorthanded time on ice, and continues the point scoring streak. And now at 81 points is just it's doing things that we've never seen covering the Nashville Predators hockey franchise at any point in time. So just simply incredible, and we'll continue tracking at the pace he's going. We expect that Roman Yossi could break Paul Kariya's franchise record possibly by next Tuesday at Bridgestone Arena versus the Minnesota Wild. That would be incredibly special, and I'm actually slowing his pace down. He could easily do it Friday at Buffalo. Outstanding job, everybody. Appreciate everybody jumping in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. It was not pretty, but it was 2 points, and that's what the Nashville Predators need. They need the points. They need to keep pace, and the Central Division is really, really intensely contested from spots 2 through 3, 4, and 5, and now even Winnipeg jumping up and getting back in there. So for the Nashville Predators, they'll need to continue getting the points where they are available, and a couple of really tough games coming up. So Minnesota is on the schedule, the Florida Panthers coming to Bridgestone Arena, so a couple of very difficult home games for the Preds coming up to start the month of April. For Mostradamus, for Sean C. Smith, for Brian Baston, for Kay Perk, for Ann K., and for Rachel K., I am, of course, your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love and respect. Appreciate each and every one of you jumping in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck.